Hello and welcome. This is One Voice here on Asia One with me, Craig Vermey. In today's show, the Trump administration's immigration crackdown and the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, that is known as ICE, is carrying out a record number of arrests as the White House pushes to expand deportations and demonstrate tougher enforcement ahead of the midterm elections. Officials argue the focus is on enforcing immigration law, dismantling criminal networks, and securing the border. But critics say the operation is increasingly sweeping up people who have no criminal record, separating families and creating fear in immigrant communities. Recent fatality encounters involving ICE officers have triggered protests across the country and renewed questions about accountability, oversight, and the use of force. Polls suggest Americans remain deeply divided. Many support stronger border security, while others believe the current approach risks undermining civil liberties and due process. The debate has become about far more than immigration. It is now testing America's legal system and its politics and its identity as a nation built on both the rule of law and generations of immigration. To look at this with me is Neha Paint. Thanks for joining me, Neha. Now, let's start with the bigger picture. What is your overview of Trump's current immigration policy?
My overall view is it's a highly divisive, divisive line has been drawn between the two left and right because of the immigration policy. However, the populist sentiment, be it left, be it right, it always have been there for stricter immigration enforcement. So when Bernie Sanders, when he was like really popular among the left and independents, he was also very adamant upon, having a really strict immigration policies. And but the agenda was different. However, from Donald Trump point of view, from the MAGA point of view, the thing is the immigration should be strictly enforced to provide to prevent national sovereignty and as well as protecting American workers. That was again coincide with the Bernie Sanders line. But my view is there has to be a middle line because when Biden was in power, it really went out of hand, and there was a greater resentment among American public and American workers about the wages and their own welfare. So my take on this is that there should be a immigration reform that is needed in the United States, and it has been a long overdue process, but I don't see it coming in anytime in the near future.
So why is this administration coming down so hard?
Yeah, so the thing is, he is not doing anything that he said he won't do. He is doing exactly he's enforcing exactly what he said he's gonna do. Basically, there is a general consensus between both left, right, and even the independents. They support a strict immigration policies. Although we don't like the way it has been enforced, there has been a lot of chaos, lot of ruckus, but the populist sentiment is that immigration need to be, strictly enforced. The illegal immigration is against the agenda of right because, as I said, they are very much, protecting the national identity and basically the national security, whereas on left is all about welfare and protection of American worker. So the Trump, basically, he came on strong about, he also, so many people from left also supported him, not out in public, but secretly on the ballot box. The people who used to be Democrat voters, they voted for him on this same agenda to protect American workers. However, the things really got out of hand because in United States, as you know, everything comes along the partisan line. So there is a strong identity politics as well as divide and the agenda is same to strict immigration to enforce strict immigration policies. However, the way Donald Trump is conducting it is often came out as too in your face and too strong, and people don't like it. But I'm not seeing anything. He is not doing what he said he will do. But at the same time, people from the right are not happy because they think, like, the way he said he's going to deport all the illegal undocumented immigrants, he is not doing that because many people, basically the grassroots supporter of his, the strong MAGA base of his, they want him to go hard on immigration because they want, it doesn't matter if he is deporting criminals, if he's separating families or whoever he's separating, he needs to be stuck on the line. But at the same time, his wealthy donors, like people who own big, hotels, big, let's say farmlands, they want these low wages worker very much here in the States. So the way he's enforcing it, he's not making happy to either side. The left is strictly against him because it comes down to the, separating of families and, the people dying on street. And independents are also very much in fury with the way everything has been televised and everything has been advertised basically by the this government and the people of this government. So I would say I'm not surprised that this is happening, but I definitely am not seeing, that there is there is a word called virtue signaling that is done by both sides at the same in different shape and form.
So, but we're now heading. You say that there's sort of different views, left and right. Some agree, some don't, on both sides. But we're sort of, Trump must have the midterms in mind, seeing people protesting in the street against these ICE arrests, and is he worried about a perception that people are seeing on television? Is that going to harm him in the run-up to these midterms?
Well, honestly, there are some people who are going to oppose him no matter what. He knows that, but he has to cater his own base and his own, the independents right now, they are the immigration is not at their focus right now. The thing that is very much in focus is like the Iran conflict. Basically, I would say that is a US-Iran war, but since Congress hasn't approved it, so we can't call it war legally. So the conflict is the thing that is in the mind of many independents, and they are very much angry about the way the economy is doing and the conflict is going on, and the most US tax dollar is going to this conflict. But whatever, but if when it comes to immigration, people do flinch a bit the way things goes, but I don't think so that is a deal breaker for his core voter base. His core voter base is very much fixated on him enforcing these policies. The independents and many people like, the independent podcaster like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn and many of the other independent podcaster who gave him the votes of many young men, they basically are very much repulsed by it. But I won't say that's a deal breaker for him when it comes to the midterms. But definitely the conflict right now that is going on and the economy is gonna be a big, I would say, gonna big havoc on his midterm results. So immigration, I would say, people are gonna be like, oh, he's not doing it right. He shouldn't do it in that way. But it's not a deal breaker for his core voter and his supporters, because that's a very populist sentiment among his voter base. I would say if he would do good on economy, they won't. They would probably will look other way, in a different direction. But I won't think so. In my personal opinion, I don't see his core voter base is going to be deviated from that.
Because Trump has said that this is a crackdown as not just undocumented, but targeting the criminal element within the undocumented population. So it doesn't seem to be working in just that way. It seems a much broader brush.
Absolutely, absolutely. The thing is, there is, because you there is a very recent incident of a mistaken identity where a person who was not supposed to be deported, or a person who was already on a protected status, got like not only detained, but he got killed during that process. So that actually created a lot of anger among the general public. But again, what I'm trying to say is, it's this is what Trump has promised to do. So he is gonna do that. He's gonna double down, because he has to he has to bring his core voter base towards him. Look, hey, I'm fulfilling this one promise. So I honestly think that it's gonna be like this, and it may get more brutal as the time passes, because he need to cater to his the hardcore anti-immigration voter base.
So what impact is this having on the undocumented migrants that are in the US at the moment? They must be living in fear a lot of the time.
It is true, like many undocumented immigrants are very fearful, but at the same time, many documented people who are basically on protected status, like people from Haiti, who are in constant fear that their status might got revoked. People on refugee or asylum claim, and even the green card holders. And as we have seen, there is a common complaint, and there is a common, basically, I won't say perception, because it has been noticed that racial profiling was basically made legal, and it was approved, and Supreme Court also didn't like oppose it. They basically the racial profiling is happening, and many people who sound different, who speaks different, who looks different, they have been targeted. There is no denying in that. And the biggest issue is, there are so many unqualified people who just recruited in ICE. Like, there was no prior thorough screening. There is no basic, like, there is a rigorous training that goes on. But if you are on a hiring spree, if you want, to show that we are doing something, so they keep on hiring without background check, without proper screening, without proper training. So this is bound to happen. Recently, a ICE officer who came under scrutiny, his ex-wife, she came out in front and she said, like, this person, he has already mental issues, and he has PTSD from some war he came back. So I would say it is gonna reflect very bad, and it can get more dire if this situation doesn't go out of hand, because there are so many people who are latching on this issue. As you know, right now, the Democratic Socialist Party, the extreme left-wing side of Democrats, they are on rise, and they basically want no borders, no enforcement. They don't agree with the populist sentiment of left or right of having a strong immigration policies. So I would say that's a very challenge that is in front of him, because there is a rise in anti-Trump sentiments all over in the USA. The independents are not very happy with him. His own core voter base is split because of the current conflict going on. So I would say it's a very testing time for not only his party, but for the people of color, basically, because they are in constant fear that they deported. They might get, because your social media is also under constant scrutiny. Your Facebook, your anything that you post online is gonna be under heavy scrutiny. So people are really worried about it. And there is a constant fear, not only among undocumented, but amongst the people who have their green card, because they know just in a stroke of pen, they can revoke their green card. So there is a fear, there is a real, people are holding back a lot. And some people are not traveling because of this, because they are scared. Even if they have proper paperwork and proper document, they don't know if they will be able to come back, or if they will come back, they might get detained. So yeah, there is an issue.
Today, I'm looking at the immigration debate in the US, and it is as strong as ever, with tougher enforcement, growing protests, and increasing political tension. The challenge now is whether the government can balance border security with the protection of individual human rights and public trust. To help me understand what is happening and why it matters is Neha Pant, political analyst. Thank you very much for staying with me. Now, before we went to the break, you mentioned Haiti and Syria. Now, it's probably several weeks now since Trump announced that he was changing the policy on protection for people from Haiti and Syria. So why did he particularly target these two countries?
Look, I would say the general consensus about this is like a racial targeting kind of thing. And also so many people that come from basically Muslim countries, and so many people that come from non-Christian countries, and people who are not Christians, basically non-white, that there is a perception that they are being specifically targeted. Because according to right wing, the thing is, this is a high trust society, and because of this the culture difference, they don't get to assimilate well in this culture. Although there are cases, I must say, there are cases that has been the crime that has been committed by some undocumented immigrants, but that is also a truth that there are so many crimes that are committed by regular American citizens. So, but again, the counter argument for this given by right wing is like, we cannot do anything about the people who are born and raised and live here, but we can control the people who are coming inside our border from outside. But what I believe, like, there is again, it all comes down to winning the election, catering to your voter base, because there are so many things that are still need to be done by this administration. They hadn't been really good on their promises, be it about releasing Epstein file, be it about, making economy stronger, be it about stopping the wars, ending the conflicts and everything. So what other thing they can cater to their core voter base? So these people from these poor countries, from these war-torn countries, they are the easy target. Look, there are also many undocumented immigrants come from Latin America, but there is a big Latino voter base. And again, everything comes down to optics. So the thing is this, they don't want to enrich the Latino base. And again, there are so many people who are from these countries, they work in big farmlands, in hotel industries. So who they are gonna do the targeting to, just to show their voter base, okay, hey, we are doing something about it, look what we are doing. So that is why I think these people are, these people are basically becoming the target of this administration right now.
Talking about the voter base, when they turn on the television and they see ICE officers killing somebody while they're in mid-arrest, that's not very good optics. So how's the public across America taking these images?
Look, again, the large portion of the public, the majority, the large American society, especially who are not hardcore Trump supporters, they are not very happy when they see these visuals. Many of them feel they feel horrible about watching these visuals when, they are seeing that even citizens are getting killed, and they have their strong condemnation about that. But the overall, he knows who he wants to keep on his side. So his core voter base might, flinch, but they are not gonna leave his side. Just, they are seeing these visuals, and they have, like, if you will really listen to the echo chamber or listen to his, hardcore Trump supporters or hardcore anti-immigration supporters. So they would clearly say, it's unfortunate that it's happening, but sometimes you basically you have no other option, and some people go to a great length to justify. Okay, for example, the women who was killed by while driving away from the ICE officer. So many people just defended the ICE officer. Okay, he has PTSD, and the thing is, he actually was dragged before by a car. But the thing is, this woman, she wasn't like attacking him, but again, they have a justification for everything that happened. Somehow they came in justify him, his action, the ICE officer's action. But again, what I'm saying, that by and large, the independents, the anti-Trump population, and many people who voted for Trump, but they are absolutely horrified by seeing these visuals. And his core voter base gonna be. They may
It's
say
going to remain.
it's
Yes,
unfortunate.
it's not.
Yeah, they may
it's not
say,
shaking
yeah.
the core voters.
No.
No.
Over
But-
this, they are not shaking. Yeah.
So, and obviously, these images are being seen outside the states. So, is this deterring people from coming? Is the flow of migrants from the south slowing because of Trump's crackdown?
Yes, I would say this actually happened in so many borders. Like there is the outpouring of the through the southern border has been like reduced to a larger extent. Basically, it's basically almost reduced in, I would say, like more than 80%. You can say like it's basically reduced. There is not the outpouring of illegal or the immigrants from that side of the border. And I also there is a very interesting personal case while I was traveling. So there was this person, I met him. He actually came under as an asylum seeker, but he entered illegally. And the thing is, his case was kind of bit, but it was my assumption, his case was kind of bit like fraudulent. That what he admitted to me. He was self-deporting. He said, before they come for me, I'm self-deporting. So that also happened. Like, it's like he told me. And then he was thinking of, because his family is already well settled and everything. So he said, like, maybe in few years, I will come, because his family is now in Canada, his wife, his kids and everything. So he said, maybe I'll come to Canada, but I'm self-deporting because he is like 70 plus. So he said, I'm not gonna go through all this because he doesn't want to be in like ICE detention. So he said, better I would self-deport, and then I would go to Canada where my family is already well settled. So yeah, I would say there is a reduction. I would say a reduction in people who are coming to the border illegally and crossing the border illegally.
So Trump can hold up the fact that there are less people coming to the border doing his working.
Yeah, he can say that. And, when the things got out of hand, so there were changes in the way they are conducting their immigration. Many things are going under the radar right now. The thing they were doing in overt fashion, now they are doing it not that overtly. So Trump would definitely say that's my win. But again, this is not enough. Right now, the people's focus has been shifted from immigration very much to a larger extent, except when there is this unfortunate killing or shooting happened between, when an ICE officer shoot a innocent person. So then this thing comes to light. But otherwise, I would say right now, since the conflict is going on and the gas prices are, the highest at this point in the United States. So people are really a bit diverted by immigration policies right now. So even if he's gonna say, okay, this is my win. See, I have given you border and the border is protected. What's gonna happen is like these things might overshadows with the current conflict that is going on. So yeah, he could definitely coin it as his win. But
Neha,
it's not
I'm
enough.
sorry, we're out of time. We'll have to leave it there. Thanks, Neha. And that brings us to the end of today's conversation, where I looked at the immigration debate in the US and how it is no longer just about who crosses America's borders. It is about how immigration laws are enforced, how much power federal agencies should have, and where the balance of power lies between national security and civil liberties. The Trump administration insists its tougher approach is restoring order after years of illegal migration. Opponents argue that the human cost is becoming too high and that aggressive enforcement is eroding public confidence. As arrests continue to rise and the legal challenges mount, immigration is once again shaping the political conversation across the US. Thanks very much to Nina Paint, political analyst, for sharing your insights. As always, here on One Voice, I aim to cut through the noise and bring you the stories that matter from the voices that know. And if you missed any part of today's show, be sure to go to our YouTube channel, Asia One News. Until next time, I'm Craig Vermey. Thank you for watching One Voice.